And I take this opportunity to humbly welcome our founding Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar, who will tell us why today is a landmark day in the history of Gopi Jindal Global University. Professor Rajkumar.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and I know that I'm conscious of the fact that I'm competing with the hero of Pushpa movie who happens to be in town, but you all left him and come here. Speaks volumes about the fact that you are serious about higher education and universities. The reason this is a very important moment, not just for our university, actually it's important for India. As you know, the National Education Policy for the first time gave a new impetus for promoting online education. And one of the reasons why the National Education Policy gave a new impetus for promoting online education is that our gross enrollment ratio in our country is relatively low, and a large number of aspiring students who want to be part of higher education system have not been part of it. For a very long time, it was hovering around 18 to 22, and it is even now around 26 to 28%, which essentially means that we need a lot more universities and higher education institutions. Of course, if you look at the independence and the evolution of higher education institutions at the dawn of Indian independence in 1947, we had around 20 universities. Today we have more than 1,000 universities. We have more than 50,000 higher education institutions. Over 40 million students are part of Indian higher education system. So we have a large higher education system, but even then, if you look at the demographic context of India, where we have 1.5 billion people, of which a billion of them are less than 35 years of age, and a large number of them are seeking opportunities in higher education. And that is why the government, in its wisdom, through the National Education Policy, advocated for a strong emphasis on online education. And of course, I must say that COVID and the entire tragedy surrounding COVID gave a new way of innovations in higher education, when the entire world of physical campuses had come to a standstill. It was technology that came to the rescue, and so at least the privileged people across the country, and I say this because a lot of people simply did not have access to technology and could not go to schools and colleges and universities which had online platforms to continue the education uninterrupted. So that gave universities to innovate, and so that was possibly a very important where high quality online education began to be part of a vision and aspiration. Of course, India came into this much later than many countries. If you look at the developed world, for a very long time, probably more than 2 decades, online education has been part of the imagination and experience in many parts of the developed world. So the reason today is historic, and it was announced just 2 days ago. Today is 12th of December. On 10th of December, the world's most prestigious rankings organization, which is also recognized by the government of India, called the Times Higher Education out of London, which ranks universities around the world on various parameters. They have the global rankings of universities, where it has been lamented for many years that not a single Indian university is among the top 100 in the world, not only in that ranking but also in the QS rankings. Many people have time and again highlighted, including the Honorable President of India, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, the Honorable Education Minister, and many of us have felt that India does not have a single university among the top 100 in the world. That has been the case for a very long time, and there is a lot of anxiety and aspiration to propel Indian universities to the top league of universities in the world. Now, it is in that context that the Times Higher Education had published the most recent online Learning Rankings 2024 2 days ago. I am delighted to inform you that OP Jindal Global University, an Indian university, has not only acquired the highest status of being India's first ranked university, not just public or private, but India's first ranked university, which has topped the league tables in the online learning rankings of Times Higher Education 2024. But that's not only the case. Not only did we top the India league tables, but we have become the world's ranked #1 university in the Times Higher Education Online Learning Rankings 2024. This is a historic milestone, not just for our university, but also for India, because for the first time in the history of India, for the first time in the history of Indian universities, any Indian university has ever attained the distinction of being world #1. Never before in the history of India, any university in any of international rankings, be it the Times Higher Education rankings, be it the QS World University rankings, be it the academic ranking of world universities, which is also called the Shanghai Jiatong rankings, in these three of the world's most prestigious and prominent international rankings, never before in the history, any Indian university has been ranked as #1 in the world. We are fortunate that OP Jindal Global University has been ranked as #1 in the world in the Times Higher Education rankings, and I want to take this moment to not just congratulate the faculty members, the deans, the students and staff of the university, but also to take a moment to thank our founding chancellor and benefactor, Shri Naveen Jindal, for his far-sighted vision and commitment and dedication to philanthropy that has enabled the establishment of this university, which has ultimately culminated in what we have seen in these rankings. For those of you who are present here, I should tell you that our university is a 15-year-old university. We were founded in the year 2009, and so we are very young. But not only our university is young, which is barely 15 years old, our foray into online education is even younger. We are barely 4 years into online education, and we have already seen this extraordinary feat in the form of being ranked as world's #1 university in the online learning rankings of the Times Higher Education. Of the Times Higher Education, the top 3 gold awarded universities are as follows. OP Jindal Global University India, which is ranked highest, and it is having a score of 287.7, which is ranked second and has a score of 286. And the third is the American University, which is a very prestigious university in Washington, D.C., which is ranked third and has a point score of 267.2. Learning rankings, it took into account 4 aspects which form the methodology of the rankings. The first, it is the online learning. Now, why this is important? Because historically, online education has been seen as a pejorative form of education. Standards in online education is resources. Second is called engagement, which is the level of student engagement in online learning. Now, why this is important? Because one of the challenges of online education, unlike the physical education, is that there is a direct meeting of people physically in a classroom environment where questions are asked, doubts are clarified, students are able to directly interact with the teachers. Portfolio has expanded over the years. Currently, we are offering in public policy, Master of Design, MDes in User Experience Design, and MBA in Business Analytics.
दिन है जिसमें हमारे जो देश का जो पहला यूनिवर्सिटी ओपी जिंदल ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी ने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय लेवल में टाइम्स हायर एजुकेशन का जो ग्लोबल रैंकिंग्स का वर्ल्ड का #1 यूनिवर्सिटी का रैंक मिला है। ये देश के लिए बहुत ही एक ऐतिहासिक दिन है। जिसमें पहली बार इतिहास में जो सारे रैंकिंग्स के जो अभी तक जो निकला है, जिसमें हमारे कोई भी यूनिवर्सिटी अभी तक दुनिया के नंबर 1 का रैंकिंग पहुंचा नहीं है। इसके वजह से हमारे जो देश के लिए भी और हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए भी, एक मिनट, सॉरी गाइस, यू आर टॉकिंग टू मच. First I will speak in English and then I will speak in Hindi. Today is a historic day when OP Jindal Global University has been ranked as the world's #1 university in the prestigious and coveted Times Higher Education Online Learning Rankings 2024. In fact, this is an extraordinary moment for India because never before in the history of rankings, any Indian university has ever been ranked #1 in the world for anything. In fact, we have been lamenting about the fact that not a single Indian university is among the top 100 in the world in either as a university or even in selected disciplines. Also, there has been a challenge to be the #1 in the world. We are very fortunate that OP Jindal Global University, founded in the year 2009 by our Chancellor and benefactor Mr. Naveen Jindal, has in a very short span of time has not only acquired the status of an institution of eminence as recognized by the Government of India, but also barely in 4 years, in 2020 when we started the online degree programs, today we have been recognized as world's #1. It's a matter of great pride and privilege, not just for us at JGU, but also for our country. I want to say that this is an extraordinary moment because of the fact that the Honorable Prime Minister of India had envisaged the national education policy, and with a far-sighted effort to transform the higher education sector, new reforms were introduced through the NEP. One such reform is in relation to online education, where universities were empowered to offer online education. Even before the national education policy, the Honorable Prime Minister conceived of the idea of institution of eminence with a view to select a small group of universities in the public and private sector and give them the status of an institution of eminence with a view to propel them to become world-class universities. We are one such institution which received the status of an institution of eminence, which ultimately helped us to move out of the regulatory architecture so that we are free from all regulations and we can focus on the academic work and the research work and the quality teaching that we undertake. The outcome of that, the regulatory barriers that used to stop institutions has been overcome through the Honorable Prime Minister's policy relating to institution of eminence, because of which today we have seen the actual result in a very short span of time, where not only OP Jindal Global University received the first rank in India in the Times Higher Education rankings relating to online education, but the #1 university in the world.